саду даже шорохи. Все здесь замерло до утра. Если б знали вы, как мне дороги подмосковные вечера. Если б знали вы, как мне дороги подмосковные вечера. Речка движется и не движется, вся из лунного серебра. Песня слышится и не слышится в эти тихие вечера. Песня слышится и не слышится в эти тихие вечера. Что ж ты, милая, смотришь искоса, низко голову наклоня? Трудно высказать и не высказать все, что на сердце у меня. Трудно высказать и не высказать все, что на сердце у меня. А рассвет уже все заметнее. Так, пожалуйста, будь добра, не забудь и ты эти летние подмосковные вечера. Не забудь и ты эти летние подмосковные вечера.
All right, guys. There's going to be a lot of buzzing, just to tell everybody from the kickoff. So, yeah, that's something that we're just gonna have to deal with. If anybody can just tell me whether they want levels higher or lower. Joakim, would you be able to say something?
Yeah, I guess my mic is shit.
So if anybody would be kind enough to let us know whether levels are good or if one of us needs to go up or down, that'd be great. Audio could be much higher. Okay, let's try. How's this for me, Icy?
Test.
And I'm gonna slowly put Joakim up as well. He's gonna be buzzing the whole time, but we're just gonna have to deal with that.
That's not good.
Yeah. That's good? Okay. Excellent. So, Joakim, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, no problem.
You're very much a man of mystery in the community. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that kind of mysterious reputation that you've got?
I mean, I don't communicate that much, so yeah, I guess that's natural.
And so first thing I'd want to ask, given this kind of, this way that you are, is to what extent do you keep up with the rankings? Are you the kind of person who, checks it every day when you get up in the morning, or are you a kind of once a week guy, or what?
I guess I check it like a couple times a week to keep up, but not more than that. Check the forums a lot often. A lot more often.
Got you. So, have you been aware of the big RTA boom that's been going on recently? Yeah, I'll put up Joakim a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I saw Ace got some like sick times on any percent. I don't know if it's still going for it, but like he got close to the record. So
yeah, and Mark has come back subsequently to try and lower his own record. So
yeah,
gonna be a good race.
With warp, there's some potential there,
Right. Yeah. And I think Mark missed the train shot on his depot on his record as well. So like definite time to be shaved off.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get it if he keeps it up. I don't know how much he's gonna play, but it's kind of sporadic when he plays.
Yeah, that's Mark. Is that better? I see. By the way, I put him up a touch, but I can make him louder if we need to. Did you see Mystic Cheese's Archives 15 recently?
Yeah, that was sick. I'm really envious.
Right. I think it's possibly the best looking 15 on the ranks. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I think it's just gonna have to be like that, and we'll just try and power through. And if you saw both a couple of Frigate 105s recently, Pogo and Sean John, so it looks like 103 is not gonna be out of reach for very much longer.
Yeah, I saw Sean John's 105 today. The way he missed that last door.
Oh, that was such a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that sucks. An A complete up like 2 seconds before entering the boat.
Yeah, dude.
That sucks, but yeah, I mean, he'll get it if he continues to go for it.
Yeah, I hope so. Quite a lot of action from Frigate recently. And to go back slightly a bit further, we had a certain Joakim getting the cradle sweep and the 111. How was cradle?
It was shit, honestly.
Okay.
It was kind of shit to play, but like it was easier than I thought. I thought I was gonna play like, I don't know, 200 something hours for the sweep, and I ended up playing like, I don't know, 80 hours or something.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm happy I got done with that quickly. Even if I got pretty unlucky on Agent, I think like 130 kills, 2A completes, kind of sucks.
Oh, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I got lucky. Double O was better, like 12 kills and got the A complete.
About how often were you getting the trap kills?
Excuse me?
About how often were you getting trap kills?
Oh. On Agent, it was like every few minutes, I guess. SA and Double O was like 15 minutes per kill, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Agent is much easier.
And the Streets 111, that was a pretty interesting run. I think you got the triple boost at the beginning, and then in your description you said the run was good enough that you could handle some cringe at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I could really go wide at the end, around the walls and shit. Yeah, because yeah, that was really lucky. I don't know if any other 111 has 3 boosts there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gromack was saying that he feels like that's going to be what's necessary for 110 if it happens.
Yeah, sure. I had like no health left, so I guess that's about the maximum you can take. Just have to get a better run than that.
Did the 111 grind give you any kind of indication about the feasibility of 110?
It'll be really hard, I think. I played on EverDrive when I started out, and my best runs were like 111.5 or so with 2 boosts. So I think it'll be really tight. It'll be sick if Gromit gets it.
I agree, dude. And what about, are you a believer in Cradle 32?
Maybe. I don't know. I was really bad at telling pace on Cradle. So I don't really know, but I know it's possible. So if Chris goes for it, like if he seriously like buckles down and grinds for it, I think it'll be a thing sooner or later.
That's my suspicion as well. I think I think he's got it in him.
For sure.
And speaking of recent stuff as well, I don't suppose you've been watching the recent match plays?
Yeah, I kind of watch them here and there. I don't really follow every match and all that, but kind of follow it, yeah.
Okay. You got so we've got a big match of Ari versus Clemens coming up. So I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask what your predictions are for that match.
Oh shit, that's like 50, really. I don't. Ari might win it. I don't know.
I mean, he won the same fixture last year, so he'd be going for 2 out of 2 if he gets it this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet on Ari.
All right, okay, you heard it here first, guys. Ari gonna smash Clemens in his upcoming match play.
Sweep. He's gonna sweep him.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be in the losers bracket. We're gonna have JD against Chris G. What are you thinking for that one?
Oh, I think I mean Chris is good, but I think JD is probably one of the better match players. So
reigning champion.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna win, probably. But I mean, it's down to luck, or on some levels at least. So you never know. You never know.
And on the other side, we've got Samo against Mystic Cheese.
Yeah, that might be a tight match, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Samo knocked out Will, I think, and Mystic Cheese beat Callie. So they both have some big. There's some giants that they've beaten on the way here. So, what do you reckon? If I can push you?
Well, let's say Samo.
Okay. So on the other side of the bracket, that puts Samo against Joris.
Yeah, I think Joris will win that.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see if Samo can pull off another upset, but it looks like it. So then. In losers, it will be Joris against JD for the losers final.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of 50-50 too. Let's say Joris.
Maybe with his 2.x specialization, he can pull it off against JD.
He could win like Bunker 1 or Archives and all that, so he's got kind of an easier time. Maybe that's a tiebreaker, 2.x.
Right, yeah. So then that'll put JD against Clemens, who was the loser of the match against Ari. Joris Clem. Big match to face off against Ari. What do you think?
Excuse me. What did you say? Like JD versus Clemens?
Joris Clemens. So I misspoke at the beginning. I should have said Joris Clemens.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, let's say Clemens this time.
So he'll set up the rematch with Irie. So what do you think? Do you think Clemens can avenge himself, or do you think Ari will complete the total sweep?
I don't know, man. I think Ari might win it. Honestly.
Okay, all right. So Joakim backing Ari for the championship. So we'll see if it all comes true.
Yeah.
Spencer not messing around at all in the comments, asking about if you're going to go for Dan 52. We haven't even got started yet, and he's already interested.
At this point, I'm not thinking about it. If I get Archives 15, then maybe sometime in the future. But it's shit. It's shit. Go. I suck at Damn too.
I mean, I think the Fantastic Four achievement has just been added to the Elite, so you could be the first person to get it.
Yeah, if I can get 15, yeah. I might think about it.
Is that something in your radar then, 15?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you played for it all yet, or you yet to start the grind?
I tried it like 2 years ago, maybe, but I had a crappy stick, so best I could do was like low 16s. But I don't know, maybe I could do it now.
Have you got yourself a better stick now?
Definitely.
Right. Exciting times in the future then. Okay, so to start with, I was thinking of just getting a bit of background about you. So before we even get into GoldenEye, I want to ask, so how did you get into video games in general? How did that happen for you?
Oh, well, I played at friends' houses when I was a kid, and then...
Do you remember the first game you played?
I think it might have been GoldenEye, honestly.
Okay.
I don't remember playing a game before that, so it might have been that. And then I remember asking my dad to get like a used N64 in GoldenEye, so me and my brother played it.
What age would that have been?
Oh, like 8 maybe. Something like that.
And so were you speedrunning from the get-go like Ace, or did it take a while for the speedrunning part to start?
I mean, I got all the cheats, so I guess that's speedrunning in a sense. But I've always played games that way, like getting high scores and fast times and stuff.
And so for me, I remember I got stuck with getting some of the cheats when I was younger. I had to come back and get them as a teenager. Were you able to just power through and then just get them like at the time?
I think I got them when I was a teenager too.
Okay, got it. And how did you find out about the Elite?
Well, I think I watched Summoning Salt videos on YouTube, and I got like a Goose video recommended to me.
Do you remember which one?
Yeah, it's Runway 21 Possible.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
So obviously something must have sparked in your mind when you saw that video. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, he used like Boss's original 22 as an example run, and like compared it with other runs and whatever. And I guess I just thought it looked doable, and it was.
So was that simply your goal when you started Runway 21?
Yeah. No, 22. Obviously, 21 wasn't really possible at that time, I guess. So,
but I mean, it was your ambition.
It was sort of a dream time, yeah, I guess.
So I guess while you were in the middle of playing for it, Berg would have got 21, right?
Yeah, I was playing, I think, 00 at the time. And
So
then he got it, and I thought that looked doable as well. I mean, I had gotten SA22 at that point, so I thought I could do it.
So what kind of an impact? Because I mean, when you talk about watching that video, I'm sure that most people would have the dream of being like, oh, I want to set the Untied on this. So like, what kind of impact did it have when Berg got the 21?
Kind of impact on me.
Yeah, like were you kind of like, oh damn, or were you like inspired by it, or what when you saw that he got it?
I was really inspired. I thought it was insane. It was fucked. It was unbelievable.
And did you develop, or did you see him do the juggle and then you thought, right, that's what I'm going for, or had you been experimenting with anything similarly beforehand?
I hadn't really been experimenting myself. I saw what he did and I understood what he did, so I practiced it. It took a long while before I mastered it, but in the end I did.
How many hours went into the 21 overall?
I think about 280 hours, around there. That's my best estimation.
I mean, so can you tell us like can you tell us a little bit about the grind? Like, did you always go into it just kind of thinking, oh yeah, this is definitely possible, or did it take a long time before you realized it was like within your grasp? And like, what kind of like ups and downs did you have on that grind?
I think I thought it was easier than it actually was. Like, the juggle is harder to master than I thought it was. I think that was the main issue. It took probably like 150 hours or so to master it.
Just the juggle?
Yeah.
That's definitely a surprise. Just 150 hours simply to master the juggle. What makes it so difficult?
Well, I was probably a little bit stupid at the time, I think. I was
Okay.
I didn't think about it really. I just thought I knew what I did or what I was doing, but I wasn't. And then I started, I started learning what my mistakes were after a while, so I could improve it.
I actually messaged Berg about it, before the interview, and one of the things he wrote to me was, he said, what struck me about his mindset and why I knew immediately he'd get a lot of world records was he played all that time, hundreds of hours, for 21 and never asked me any questions. He just did it himself. Yeah, so that struck me quite hard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I like figuring stuff out by myself. Actually, I think it's part of the grind. It's part of the learning experience. You'll get better at stuff in the future if you learn. You learn how the game works. Sort of. You know what to think about, how to think about the game. Kind of hard to explain, but you get the.
Yeah, and what's your how do you learn stuff? Is it simply just a case of taking his video and just breaking it down and analyzing it, or like what's your way to kind of get knowledge about how all this stuff works? Oh, I
don't know.
Icy likes that mindset, by the way.
Yeah. It's a good mindset, I think. Like, if you want to get better at the game. But yeah, I kind of analyzed his video and I analyzed my own runs. I always try to think about what I can do to make my own runs better, and like improve my odds at getting time.
And was there a particular point when you was a particular point when you realized 21 was in sight? Was it after you mastered the juggle, or did it take longer than that before you realized, oh my god, this is actually going to happen?
Well, immediately when I saw it run, I thought it was possible for me to do it, but I realized how hard it was after a while. And then when I learned to juggle and everything, I kind of thought it was imminent, you know. I honestly thought it was gonna be like a small gold rush to get the time. I thought a few people would get it by the end of the year, but you know, no one's gotten it for 3 years now, which is crazy.
Do you think that's because it's underplayed, or just simply because it's so hard?
I don't know. I think not a lot of people master these grenade levels. I think it's kind of a different skill set maybe than all of the other levels. So people who are good at the game are not necessarily good at these grenade levels. I don't know. Maybe it's just people don't want to play for it.
You're a thrower more than a shooter?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Because like Runway 00, I never had any problems, any real problems getting any of those times. But other people seem to think it's really hard. So
yeah, I mean, you duped 28 on both the US and Jap, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a really low 28 I got on JP.
It just and on the 21, what was the so you're saying mastering the juggle was one of the high points for you. What was the darkest moment on the grind? Was there some point when you were just really thinking, fuck man, this is just too insane?
Not really. Honestly, I kind of I enjoy the level, honestly. Might sound crazy, but I do. I had no trouble playing Runway for 7 months. I didn't care.
Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, that's a good answer. So red screens. Yeah, sorry, I'll ask. So about the 27. So what's so obviously you told us the story of 21. It was kind of very simple. You saw the Goose video and thought, right, I'm going for this. So whereas the 27, I know it seems intuitive, like less obvious, like how you arrived at that. So can you tell us, I know, your story with 00?
Yeah, well, at first I thought all the lean strategies were like crazy. I thought they were like impossible to get. So I played for the old Cliff Hampton strategy, you know, and got 35.
Yeah.
And then I tried out the 34 strat, and it was one of my most cake times ever. So, and then I did the 32 strat, and then after a year or whatever, I went back and played for the double lean strat, and once again, like 29, I got it in less than 10 hours, 28, another 10 hours, and I realized that like Grab's 28 wasn't super optimized. Like he probably loses around a second on that run, like totally unnecessary time losses as I see it. So yeah, I knew 27 was possible.
Where does he lose time?
Well, he doesn't get the grenade boost. He tries to though, but like after the battery throw, he like goes way off to the left. He does this huge like rounded turn, which is not what you want to do. You want to go as fast as possible towards that drone, so you can throw the nade as quickly as possible.
Right. So it's more like a routing issue.
Yeah. I don't really know why he did it, but I guess he had something figured out in his own head. But yeah, I think I just saw the time save and went for it.
So how many hours was that overall from not playing the level to the 27?
Like the 29, the 28, and the 27.
Well, yeah, I guess the Arlene's.
Yeah, I think a bit less than 100 hours.
Okay.
I think 27 took like 60 hours or so.
So I guess I'd ask a similar question to what I asked regarding 21. Do you think that there are so few people with the top times on that level because it's so hard, or because it's underplayed, or what?
Like, you mean why so few people have gone for 21, or?
No, for 27.
Oh, 27. Okay. Yeah, I honestly don't know. People just don't like the grenade strap, maybe. Like, a lot of good players have like 38 or 37. I think Ace, Mark, and Clem has. They all have 37. So I think they could definitely improve. Like, they could definitely get 34 in like a couple of hours, maybe.
And what about the Arlene strats? Do you think that you were talking about just the different skill sets beforehand? Do you think that it's just very difficult for a lot of people to develop that skill set, or do you think it's just like the kind of lack of time that people have put in?
It might be a lack of interest, or people just look at strats and think they're like crazy, and they just don't go for it. They think it's gonna take like hundreds of hours.
So what would you, if there are any top players listening who have that kind of attitude, what would you tell them?
Go for it. Like, go for 28. 28 isn't that hard, honestly. If I think I could coach a good player to get 28 in like less than 30 hours, easily.
30 hours. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something to think about. Well, Red Screen says, get him to make a tutorial, and maybe more people would. Is that something you'd consider, or are you very staunch in your belief that everyone should figure this stuff out for themselves?
Like, if I make a tutorial, I would, but if I made it, like, someone might get the sleigh. Do I really want that?
Fair enough.
But I would, honestly.
Do you see any possible world in which 26 is possible?
I think 26. I talked to Ted about it when he made that task, like 25 seconds or whatever he got.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, I tried it on EverDrive, and it seems like it probably won't happen. It's like you're gonna need 2 guard boosts at the perfect timing, and I've never gotten them myself in one run. So I don't think
it'll be like mixing runway 00 with down 52.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I was gonna say.
That sounds pretty tough, not gonna lie.
Yeah, instead of lock shot, you got like 3 leans to do. No problem.
Yeah, right. So I mean, maybe it's pointless to ask. So so it's like with the 21, like there were no particularly particular difficulties you found with the 27 grind. It was kind of pretty linear progress for you.
Excuse me, you cut out a bit.
Sorry, so for the 27 grind, you found it was pretty linear progress for you. You didn't have any particular difficulties on the grind.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I could have gotten it pretty early. I think after about 20 hours or so, I already had 2 battery failed 27s, so I completed the drones. And
Yeah.
I had the low 28s. I had to after a while, so I think I played about half that grind with just getting nothing. So it was, in a way, it was overdue.
Right. And so was again with you being a throwing specialist, did that was Surface 2 just the kind of logical next step for you, or was it a bit more complex than that?
Yeah, I kind of play some other levels in between, but yeah, obviously, like if you're good at the leans, then you're gonna play Surface 2. So yeah, Agent was pretty easy. That was like a 10-hour time. 47 was like a 25-hour time or so. So it wasn't that hard to get when you're kind of consistent with the lanes.
I remember one of the records you got was you got one of the first B116s.
Yeah.
And I think it was you that developed the double quick pause and the turn for the second pause as well.
Yeah.
Plus the kind of the backwards lean on runway SA as well. So you obviously have a knack for figuring out these like small but really effective strats that seem small but like make a big difference in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Sorry.
like I try to really think about what I'm doing when I'm playing. If there's anything I can improve, I'll try to improve it. If there's any idea I have during my grind, I'll test it. And for B1, like I had such a bad stick, so that turn after the pause was like I was grinding against the wall.
Yeah.
So I thought of doing that second quick pause, and I played with 2 quick pauses and 1 quick pause interchangeably, and probably my 15 first 17 dupes were with the double quick pause. So I thought this has some potential, you know.
So it was just because you had a bad stick that you ended up coming up with that strat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because the thing is, like I looked at some Henrik posts, like in the facts topic, and doing 1 quick pause optimally takes like 0.54 seconds or something, if I remember correctly, and the time gain from that is like 0.48 on B1, so it should lose time, but I wanted to do it because of my bad stick.
And then it ended up being something that was a big find in the grand scheme of the level. But I think Ban said something like in his, I can't remember exactly what it was, but like in his 16 comment, he said, "Oh, big thanks to Joakim for cutting down the time for this level by a factor of 10." It obviously made a big difference.
Yeah, it's cool that he could get it with the double quick pause, I guess. I don't think he did the turn though, so I don't know how much time it saved for him. But I'm glad he got it. I don't know if he's been he'd been grinding for it earlier and just couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad he did.
Yeah, shout out to Bands.
Yeah.
And again, when I was speaking to Berg, he was saying that the throw on the battery throw on Runway, he said it seems so obvious when you actually think about it, but obviously no one else came up with it. Like, how did that one come to you? I mean, like, that's how I got my 23 in like about an hour after I found that strat.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obvious, right? Like,
Yeah, now it's obvious.
I just kind of, yeah, but I just kind of did it. I guess I was new at the time and just thinking out of the box, I guess.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. As you have to go back to Service 2, was there some point when you became aware that 46 was possible, or do you think it was just always kind of pretty clear and it just required someone to go for it?
I mean, most people's endings to 46s on Agent aren't that clean. Mine including. So I thought there was some time to make up there, and I tried it for a while. Like, probably spent 20 hours to see if I could get 46s pretty consistently, and I was able to do that. So I just started playing for it after that.
So it was mostly in the ending, basically, is where you saw 46.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What is it about people's endings that you thought was particularly suboptimal when you were watching those runs?
Well, I don't remember any of them now, but it's like
in general.
Most people, like, the turn around the corner isn't super tight, and the warps aren't always super tight, like they aren't instant warps, and you lose a lot of time from that. Like, you can lose 0.2 from a bad warp easily.
Right. Yeah. Yours, like, would you say yours was ideal? Because I seem to remember you saying that you felt as though your ending warp was still suboptimal, but obviously you still got the 46.
Yeah, it's good. Like, the warp is good, but the turn isn't super tight. But it's for some reason on SA, when you get the A complete, it's super laggy at the end. I don't know if it's because you don't look down like you do on Agent, but it's crazy laggy, so it's hard to do a tight turn there. But yeah, it wasn't great, but it was good enough, I guess.
Do you feel as though Runway 00 basically kind of prepped you for this time?
Yeah, definitely. Because I thought I couldn't do like double lanes. It seemed impossible before I tried it, but I think I got my consistency up to like 50% or so at the time I played for 46.
Wow. That's 50% on the lane itself rather than completions.
Yeah, definitely.
So how many hours went into the 46?
Probably the same amount as 21, I think, like around 270, something like that. It's hard to say because I remember playing the first month, just trying things out, and I probably did that like 5 hours a day or so. But when I grind, I don't play for more than like 1 or 2 hours because it's kind of taxing, I guess.
So at the beginning, it'll be kind of like messing around, just kind of seeing what works. But then when you're fully focused, it could. Well, that's why I admire, I guess, people like Callie, who can just seem to do it for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours with no problem. Because I find I'm quite similar in that if I'm if I'm at the point where I'm really going for something, I find it difficult to play for a really significant amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same for me.
And so was it similar progress to the runway grinds, where it was kind of just steady progress all the way through, or were there some bumps along the road?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like I'd be good like one day, and then the next day I wouldn't even get 46 fails. So it was ups and downs, but it wasn't like I didn't have like a month where I was playing like shit, you know.
Yeah.
It was kind of linear, I guess.
We've got a couple of questions from Ace. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
Do you watch streams, and have you thought about streaming before?
I'll watch streams maybe every now and then, but I don't know, like streaming myself, I'm not sure, like, do people want to watch a 1 hour stream? Maybe.
Well, I guess people in the comments, like, to what extent would chat be interested in 1 hour stream if Joakim were to do something like that? I guess the next question: do you think it's easier to play off stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess what he's saying is, yeah, do you sometimes lose your mind grinding off stream? Because yeah, they're pretty like mentally. Something like that is a pretty mentally grueling time.
Yeah, I think it's more like therapeutic, I guess. So like, it would be worse for me to have like chat and stuff.
Right, you kind of want to be in your own zone.
Yeah, that's kind of how I play.
I get you too. So I wanted to ask some runway questions. You'll probably see where it's going, but I kind of wanted to ask some kind of quick fire questions. Do you think?
Sure.
Do you think 22 SA is possible on PAL with 5 boosts with 5-0 ratio?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And
I've gotten like 5. I've gotten 5 boosts 22s on Agent that were absolute shit. So I think so, but it's like it's rare because usually you have to get like perfect runs to get 22 with 5-0. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible, but I think you need 6 boosts most likely.
So extremely difficult, but possible.
Yeah, you have to get lucky with lag, I think.
And what about SA 22 in 1.2? Possible?
Yeah, obviously possible. Yeah. So you can a 5-0 run with like shitty boosts and still get 22. So if you got like a 6-0 run with 1.2, I'm sure it's possible.
What about sorry,
even like yeah, I think there's even like a 7 boost 22 on the rankings.
Do you know whose that is?
No, I don't know. I don't remember. I remember seeing it though. Maybe I'm wrong.
What do you think to PAL Agent 22 with all lockdown boosts?
Yeah, I've gotten that like several times.
Oh, okay. Well, easy answer then. I have asked you this before about getting SA 22 with 4 boosts. You've said that you think it's possible. So is that simply a case of just needing the low lag run?
Yeah, definitely. Like my NTSC 22 is very close. Could have been 22 without the last boost. We'll never know, but It's like that run has no lag at all, basically. So I think you just need to get lucky with that.
Right. And what about Agent 21 on Jap?
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible or possible?
Possible.
Okay.
It's definitely possible. Unless, well, I remember after getting the 21, I did some attempts on JP, and I felt like it was a little bit laggier during the juggling, but after trying it on EverDrive, it doesn't seem like there's any difference really.
Okay, so basically, it could just be as easy as it is to get it on US.
Yeah, or just as hard.
Oh yeah. And so what about the big one? What about SA21? Is it possible?
It's possible, but I don't think it's gonna happen. If it happens, it will be the greatest record in the game.
So what makes you say that? What makes you say that you think it's just possible but not gonna happen?
Well, I know it's possible, like the boosts are there if you get the guard boosts, but I tried to estimate how long it would take, and I ended up getting like, over 5,000 hours, or more than that.
So can you take me through that? So like, what would it need, and why would it take 5,000 hours?
Well, I think I haven't thought about it in a long time, but like you need a 4 boost juggle at the start, and then you need to get 2 guard boosts at the end. So that will be like super rare. 2 guard boosts at the end is like crazy, and doing a 4 nade juggle at the start is crazy. Like, will you ever survive that? I don't know. It will be a crazy run if it happens.
How common are 2 double guard boost endings?
I have no idea. I don't know if I've ever gotten one. I probably have, but
it's rare enough that you're not even sure that you even got one.
Yeah, I've probably gotten some, but they're probably like more than 10 hours apart.
One question I wanted to ask is, do you have what's your? So we've spoken about the specific records that you've gone through, like with Run with 21. But would you be able to speak to your kind of more general process of like how you decide to go for a time and what motivates you to pick up a grind?
Well, usually it's the time I really want, for some reason or whatever reason that is. But lately it's been I just wanted to up my world record count, so like depot streets, cradle, stuff like that. I didn't really have any interest in, but I played them because I wanted world records, and I decided to play those levels because I knew I could get the world records, you know.
Did you have that attitude from the beginning that it was always going to be world record or nothing, or did that evolve more naturally over time?
Yeah, at the start I just wanted to go for times that, you know, I was interested in for one reason or another. But yeah, I think I underestimated myself when I started playing, so I didn't really go for world records. But now I like, if I'm gonna play Cradle, I'm not gonna play for 34. There's no reason for me to do that. I'm just gonna go for 33. Straight up.
Yeah, I got you, dude. And so, well, you were saying that now you tend to go for more world records, but You've also just got this impulse about that there are just some times that you just really want. Is there any kind of like pattern or philosophy to that, specific to the times that you tend to find most attractive, or the grinds that you tend to want to go for?
It's usually like shorter levels that are maxed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like max times. I like that.
What is it about that you like?
I don't know. It's just like maybe being able to say like I got the best time that is achievable. You know.
That appeals to you personally.
Yeah.
What would you say are your? You said that you feel as though you underestimated yourself at the beginning. So what do you feel are your strengths as a player?
My strengths as a player right now, like I don't know. I guess it's learning how to optimize levels, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can watch you run, play the level for an hour, you know, and I know what to do to get a good time after that.
Mm-hmm. Sayonara asks, when did you realize that you were talented at the game? When did you stop underrating yourself?
Probably when I got runway 0029, and I realized how easy that was, even though it's like considered a really hard strategy. So before that, I might not have gone for like insane times.
And then that was a big like kind of before and after moment for you?
Yeah, I think so. Probably the biggest.
To what extent would you agree with the idea that mindset is more important than talent?
More important than
talent?
Oh, I think it's a mix of both, actually. Like, mindset is important, but of course you gotta have some talent.
Would you say it's like 50-50 or like 70-30 or?
I mean, if you don't have talent, you can't get a time. If you don't have the mindset, you're not gonna get the time either. So it's probably like 50-50.
Fair enough. What about you personally? Would you say that it's your skill or your mindset that you value the most?
My mindset, definitely. I don't think I'm more skilled than anyone in like the top 100, maybe. Honestly, I think I just know how to grind for a good time, I guess, and I just had the mindset to just continue playing until I get it.
So what's the what's the secret to having the grind mindset? Like, what kind of I split that up, I guess. What kind of mindset do you have going into a grind? Do you think there's like, what kind of mental preparation do you think is like a good approach to like these really long grinds? And how do you find your mindset changing as like 10 hours becomes 50 hours and 50 hours becomes 100 hours and so on?
Well, I don't know, honestly. Like, what do I do when I start a grind? I just know what time I'm gonna go for, and then I just buckle down and go for it, I guess. Like, there's no reason to stop if I'm able.
You just go for it.
Yeah, if I'm able to get the time, there's no way I'm gonna stop.
And about do you find do you find it changing over time? I remember you described going for the 46 as mental hell. So How was that? What goes into pushing through that?
Well, honestly, several times I thought about quitting, but when I sat down, started the console, I was like, what am I gonna play? Am I gonna start some other grind, or am I gonna play this level when I could literally get 46 today? It's just kind of a matter of luck and skill, I guess. You could get it any day, so why not play for it?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Here's a little bit of a left field question. Do you see Arlene's becoming a thing on Frigate Secret Agent?
I mean, maybe in the future. I mean, if you can get a better time, it's gonna happen, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ted showed with the practice room that I think lower is definitely possible. I think like to 54 or something. If you implement the Arlene, and it's a lot easier on PAL.
Then it's probably gonna happen. I don't see why not. But I haven't played the level. Maybe it's like, you get 1 in a million chance to get like as good a hostages as you need for that time.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the problem. It's the hostages plus the Arlene now.
Exactly. I think you can get pretty consistent with the Arlene, but I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you never know with this game. People do crazy stuff.
Is that something you would consider? You consider going for?
Maybe in the future, yeah. Sure. Why not?
So, regarding the future, what are you playing right now?
I haven't been playing anything recently, probably. But like I played a few weeks ago, I tried for Archives, actually. But yeah, recently I've been just taking a break. But I'll probably go back to the Archives grind. Maybe something else.
And have you got anything else on your radar, kind of looking further forward into the future?
I mean, I would like to get Surface 200, like get a good time there. At least get leaderboards. See where it goes from there. Like maybe I'll get a really good time. I don't know. If I get good at the level, I'll aim for world record.
Sayonara asks, what advice would you give to new players starting out?
Well, play the levels you want to play. I think, like the ones that you're good at, the ones you enjoy. If you enjoy a level, you could play it for hundreds of hours and it doesn't matter. So you can get really good times that way. If you're playing for points, that's another thing. I don't really know what advice to give, but yeah, play what you want to play.
Alright. I see. Do you think you'll ever fill in all your times? Oh, but by the way, just at this point, this will be a good place to open up questions. If anybody has just some questions they want to ask, just chuck them in the chat. But yeah, do you think you'll ever fill in all your times?
Maybe, if I play for long enough. Like if I play for 15 years, then yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you think that it's always going to be? Do you think that it's likely you're gonna that'll only happen once you've finished all of the short levels? And that's when you'll move on to the longer ones.
I think Aztec and like Control will probably be the last ones I play, but you never know. Like maybe I'll play some other levels and I get some new skill set, and I'll go for those levels first.
Are you interested in RTA at all?
Not at the moment, really. but it seems kind of chill. So maybe, who knows?
I saw that Egypt's been having a bit of action recently. I think Irie, Zach B, Callie, all getting 44s. Is that something that's out there for you?
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention that Egypt 44s would be pretty cool. Never tried it though.
Oh, we got one from QWERTY. Will you ever play Perfect Dark?
Yeah, I don't have a card, but you know, maybe in the future. There are some times that are pretty interesting.
Would you go for something like Chicago 14?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I think that's a kind of a cool time.
That's a Joakim time.
Yeah, War 24 would be insane too, but like I've never played the game, so I don't know if I'm good enough to get that ever.
Only one way to find out, man.
Yeah, sure. Maybe sometime.
Oh, good question from Sayonara. What was your easiest world record?
S2 46. Took about 10 hours.
Do you think that was just because of how much you'd already practiced the Arlene, or do you think it's like objectively pretty easy?
I think it's objectively pretty easy. There are no RNG elements. If you just focus on your strafing, if you learn the door from above, there's really no problem in getting that. Like you can do like 100 throws per hour, so it shouldn't take that long.
So I asked this last time, and I think I actually quite like, yeah, let's go with Icy because that's what I was going to ask anyway. Any other untieds that kind of on your radar that you think are out there and that you consider going for?
Not at the moment, but I did think about doing the nade strat on S200 while I was playing for 46. I thought like when this is over I'm gonna play 00, but I just, yeah, I feel like never farming nades on that level again.
Fair enough. That's understandable.
Right now there's really no untied I want to go for. I don't see it as a possibility on any level.
Something like Egypt 43, will that be out there? Like short level?
I don't know how tight it is, honestly. I would have to get 44 first.
Yeah, I think Iris and possibly Callie have already had multiple 43 paces to the last Baron, and then just missed the Baron shot.
They'll probably get it before me then. Someone will.
Yeah, fair enough. And so what? This is something that I'd be interested in. As someone who isn't involved in the community, someone who I might describe as, on the outside looking in. Which players do you have admiration for and that you find inspiring, both in terms of mindset and in terms of skill?
Well, I mean, the legendary players that just keep on playing, and they're like at the top level, like Ace and Mark and Clemens. I guess Mark doesn't play a lot nowadays, but like just playing this game for like 20 years at the top level, that's kind of crazy. That's dedication.
Yeah.
I guess there are other players like that too. But yeah, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, Mark's made a bit of a comeback recently. I hope I hope it continues. The community is always better with him in it.
Yeah. So it's kind of chaotic.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Do you see any kind of like affinity or similarity between players like yourself and someone like Chris or Callie with your world record or nothing attitude, were they any kind of inspiration, or was it just coincidence?
It's kind of a coincidence, I think. I don't think Callie had that many world records when I started out. Maybe he did. But yeah, I think, I mean, I'm not only going for world records. I'm, like, I wouldn't mind posting, like, let's say, Caverns 00133, like, insane times I'd post. Like, if I'm for a time as a goal time, then I'll post that. You know, runway 0029 wasn't the world record, but I posted it because it's a crazy time, I guess.
So you're not one of these people who's just like neurotic about having a clean times page?
If I'm one of those?
I'm saying, so you're not one of these people who needs to have like a clean times page. You'll post something a bit lower if you feel like it.
Yeah, like the times I've been going for last year or whatever, it's like, let's say Depot 23. If I got a 24, like that was like a failure for me. That wasn't my goal time. I fucked up if I got 24, so I don't feel like posting that.
So it's less about records and it's more about, just if it's not to your standards.
Yeah, like if I have some sort of goal time, then I'm gonna post that, nothing else.
Right.
So if I was playing, like, let's say I was playing B1 essay, I wouldn't mind posting a 21. I'm not going for 20.
Right. Well, I see. I actually asked Joakim beforehand about this specifically, because I got the impression. Obviously, he's he's one of the men of mystery in the community, and we kind of agreed not to go into anything personal. So yeah, like, fair question. I had the same question, but that's just like, I'm obviously prepared to respect the decision. I'd be interested to ask about your approach to the community. It is quite rare that we have a player who's obviously so involved at the highest level, but just very much keeps himself to himself. Is it just that you just feel like more comfortable that way, or is it more that you just like the excitement of not giving anything to anybody? I don't know if you know Behemoth in the Metroid community, who just always grinds in total secret, and then there's always like a big occasion when they post something. Is that something that's like an intentional thing? You've always thought, oh man, so I want to do it, or is it just more of a natural, organic thing, and that's just how you are? Like, you're just a kind of private person, and that's just how things turned out.
Yeah, sort of. Like, I play the game, and when I'm done playing, I'll do something else. Like, I don't know. I might get more involved with the community, but yeah, it's not like I have anything against the people, but yeah, that's not, like, communication online is not a thing, really, I guess. I think it's kind of soulless, honestly.
Yeah, there are quite a few people who feel that way. So I understand what you're saying. What was the extent of your involvement in TaskBat, by the way? Because you mentioned you got invited into it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. To what extent were you involved with that, and like, what part did you play?
Yeah, I mean, I got invited, like, I don't know how many months after the horde has started, but I was there for like maybe 1.5 months before the unhorde. So you know, I just got to know about the cell warp, and then I played for frigate. So yeah, what to say.
Would you ever consider being part of another horde, or are you all hoarded out now?
I think it's better. Like I want to post my times when I get them. Like I don't like hoarding, but if I get invited, maybe.
Okay. Fair. Sayonara asks, what is your controller setup?
Yeah, it's a regular original stick, basically. Nothing special.
Like, how would you rate it out of 10?
Well, I have a number of controllers, but the one I'm playing with the most is probably like a 7 out of 10 or something. Like it's like sensitivity-wise, it's 7 out of 10. I guess that's what you're asking.
Yeah. And like Dead Zone.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. But like, I think what's most important is the smoothness. Like it makes it 100 times easier to control Bond, you
know. Okay, so anything else that anyone wants to ask in chat, and please do. Otherwise, I don't know if there's any other. I don't know if there's any questions you've got for chat, or any other stories that you'd like to share with us. Yeah. Otherwise, I think that wraps up all the questions that I had.
We'll probably got most of the things.
Yeah, I feel it's fairly comprehensive. Isis says, have you watched the world records for all 60 levels?
Yeah, probably more than once too. Some runs are crazy, so I watch
it. Do you have any particular favorites or records that you admire the most?
I think at this point probably like B1SA is crazy. It's a beautiful run, so I guess I like that the most. That's probably the one I watched the most.
Is that ever something you consider going for?
No, I don't think so. I'll try getting 21 sometime in the future, but who knows? When I get 21, maybe I notice that, you know, I can get 20, and I'll spend like 500 hours getting it. You never know.
Would you say that's the strongest record in the game?
I don't know. I think it's the longest standing on tide right now, right?
Train 00 is right now.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it will be, but yeah, I don't think it's the strongest record in the game. It's just the most beautiful, I guess.
Which records would you put up there as the strongest?
Probably like Train 56 needs the most experience and skill, I think. Like you probably need like a couple of 1,000 hours on that level. Wouldn't surprise me.
What about Train 56 in particular makes you say that?
Like it seems like it's a level you just need experience on. Even if you're a good player, you're not going to get 56 unless you play for it for a long time.
Yeah. Train 56. Would you put Silo 59 and Facility 42 up there, or not quite?
Yeah, Facility 42 is crazy as well. I don't know how crazy it is, but I mean, considering not many people have 43, it's probably pretty crazy too. I mean, I know people consider 42, 59, and 56 the strongest records in the game.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not bad. 59, a couple of people have tied it, but I don't know how hard it is. It seems easier because people have tied it. But who knows?
Yeah, I would agree
I've
with
never-
that. Like it's lost the same kind of shine that the other two have with the tie. So it might be just as difficult, but it when you see several initials there, it just doesn't feel the same, you know.
Yeah, like for someone who hasn't played a level, it kind of seems that way.
What about something like Cali's Surface Sweep? Where would you rate that in terms of the toughest records?
I honestly don't know much about SA and 00. 101 seems pretty crazy. I've heard 146 is like way better. So it's probably pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't actually. I should probably ask Cali that, whether he thinks the 101 or the 146 is actually the more difficult of the records.
Or he thinks the SA record is better.
Ah, okay, got you. Sayonara wants to thank you for the runway battery strat. He was very similar to me. I think he got it very shortly after he found out about the Joakim battery throw. It makes a massive difference.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. It's a pleasure.
And good question from Icy, and maybe a good one to finish on. Any thoughts on which Untieds will happen next? Like, which ones do you feel like are the most out there?
Well, Frigate 21, Caverns 100 will probably happen. I don't know how much JD is playing for 100, and I don't know how much Ted is playing for 21, but I feel like they're very overdue.
Yeah.
Maybe 43 will happen before that.
Egypt.
Yeah, or like the Aztec times can be improved if someone plays for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity on Aztec for a short time, and then just nothing for ages. So, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, they'd be the big ones. I have a feeling that Frigate 104 is not going to last very long.
That can happen too. 3.
Like, Pogo got the 105. 105 is on. It's got quite a few people now. Sean John's been playing a lot. Ace has been playing a lot. I feel like the lottery has got to spit out the 103 at some point.
Yeah. You never know when.
Yeah, that's Frigate. And you were mentioning the Surface 2 Illustrat. Do you feel like that one's overdue?
No, I don't think so. I think
okay.
It's several 100-hour grind for even the best players. It's crazy that he got a completion at all, honestly. But yeah, it could happen. Someone gets good enough at it. If someone gets like consistent enough with the fence cam, sure.
Yeah. And have you been paying attention to Cali Streets grind?
I know he's playing for Streets. Yeah, I don't know how it's going though. Like, is he close to 153?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's very difficult for anybody who's not Cali to say that. Like, the best gauge I have is the level of enthusiasm with which he talks about it. I think that he, from what I can see and from what I've gleaned from talking to him, is that he's been putting a lot of focus into the valve strafe, basically. Pretty much all the 154s, apart from Gooses, have all been without the valve strafe. Gush did the valve scrape, but still only got 154. But I think Callie's approach, from what I can tell, seems to be to optimize the valve scrape as much as possible, and that's going to be the key to the 154, to the 153s.
Yeah, Sterling strats.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag OG lines.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real cool main line on tide when it happens.
Dude, yes. You're talking my language. I got a question from Sir Tyler. Any thoughts about Damn SA with multiple ways to play the level and potential for multiple seconds to come off? Yeah.
With the piggyback strat, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen though? I don't know how likely it is to happen. I've never tried for it. I don't know the odds of getting it, like how consistent it is. But yeah, once again, you never know with this game.
And Callie was saying that he wanted to do a Damp Sember of just trying the piggyback strat.
Oh, that would be crazy if he got that.
I mean, who knows if, you know, he'll do the whole month and then he'll just decide it's just not feasible. But yeah, that'll be super cool if that ended up happening.
Yeah, I don't know if one would duplicate that. I mean, if someone got a decent time with that, it might be like a multiple second on tide for forever.
Yeah, I could see that quite easily. Okay, I'd say that's just about it. I've got through all of my questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Or how about this? Is given how little interaction that you've had with the community in general, everyone has now got their opportunity to finally hear your voice, find out a bit about who you are and what you're about. So what are your opinions about them, about the community in general?
I mean, it's kind of a cool community, you know. I don't hang around much in speedrunning circles. I don't know much about other games, but I know when Dan boarded on Mario Kart, they went all fucking crazy. And,
yeah, they didn't like that.
Yeah, I think that's a bit too serious. I think we're a cooler community, I guess, more chill community.
I'd agree with that. Yes, Ace. I did ask when's Chicago Agent 14. You said that was exactly the type of record you would think about going if playing Perfect Dark, right?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't played it before ever, but that was the time that interested me the most.
So there you go. You can have a go at asking answering Ace's question, the second one, if you can see it.
Excuse me?
Ace is saying, have you tried Perfect Dark at all? You're saying you haven't had a cart yet. Have you played it at all? Elsewhere? Never. Okay. So yeah, if that ever happens, then I'm sure you could do some damage on the rankings for sure.
Yeah, who knows?
Ace says, I'd like insight on how other players perceive difference in general movement. I have some hypotheses I'd like to test. What do you mean, Ace? Can you be a bit more specific? give him a chance to.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be versus OCJ. Right. Yeah. So if that ever happens and you get your hands on a perfect dark card, then yeah, definitely know that the rest of us will be excited to see that.
Yeah, if I ever get my hands on a card, yeah, I'll play for 14. The first thing I do, probably.
Well, there you go, Ace. Hope that answers your question. And yeah, I think that's pretty solid, dude. Unless you've got anything else that you feel like you'd like to put out there to the big wide world.
Yeah, not really. No.
Solid. Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on, dude. I was really excited when you said you'd be down for this. Yeah, it's been really cool to finally find out a bit about the man behind the times.
Yeah, it was a nice opportunity to do something like this. It's pretty cool. So, not many people get the chance, I guess.
I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when we say that we're really grateful, dude. So yeah, I'd like to wish you a very happy Labor Day tomorrow, and then that goes to everybody in chat as well.
Yeah.
You got anything planned for your day off?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my ass all day and maybe play some GoldenEye.
Sounds good, dude. Sounds perfect. What a great way to end. All right. Thanks a lot, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah. In a bit, man.
Yeah. Have a good one.
See you, dude.
See ya.